by the time I got to that day 3 at the pharmacy, it was like, please give me some tablets. I was really, really in that kind of place of desperation. So recently I got myself into a position where I'd run out of my antidepressant medication, citalopram. Now, I'd missed the odd tablet here and there over time, as you do, I suppose, just taking daily medication. Now, I thought I was going to be fine. Missing a few days here and there, it's not really a big deal, but it really is when it comes to antidepressant medication. I want to share with you today some of that experience of what I went through. So I do have a pill box, so I take medication every day. It's labelled and I carry it with me, I put it in my bag, I have it in certain places when I'm at home so that I get myself into a habit and routine and making sure that I take medication. I don't just take it for depression, I take medication for anxiety and for migraines, and I also have some daily vitamins as well, just to kind of keep my immune system up and keep myself feeling strong, or as strong as I can hope to be anyway. And so it's important that I take what I take every day because it helps keep me functioning, helps keep me going. And one of the difficulties I always have is I'm quite a visual person. Like, I need things in front of me. I think best when I can see what's around me, and so it's very easy for me to be a bit out of sight, out of mind with things. And so there are times when my pills do just sit in my bag, and it's very easy having busy life between work and home and traveling and those kind of day-to-day busy activities to be forgetting what you need to be doing, because your mind's focusing on other people or it's focusing on your work, and you're not necessarily thinking about your medication always, or at least not in the way you should be. So that kind of led me to get dangerously close to being quite low on my medication, and I have quite a small supply, so I have to order ahead of time and make sure that I get that order in, because it can take a while for the GP to approve. I normally do a repeat prescription every month, which pretty much means every 2 to 3 weeks I need to be putting in an order to turn it around in time. And kind of what happened to me is I didn't get the repeat prescription in until I was down to, 2 or 3 tablets. And then there was the weekend, and for some crazy reason, GPs don't seem to want to approve medication at the weekend, or at least mine don't. And before I knew it, there were delays with approval, and I was having to chase the doctors, and I was out of medication completely. So I had to go to the pharmacy and plead with them to give me some tablets. And then I found out the pharmacy was out of stock, and they were due to have an order that day or the next morning at the latest. So I thought, well, I'll hold on. So I go in the next day, and luckily they're able to give me an emergency supply. So I get, 5 tablets while I'm still waiting on the GP approving my meds. So thankfully that supply made a massive difference to me. And for the first time ever, I felt a massive amount of relief at being able to take a tablet as soon as I got outside the pharmacy. And that's not something that I would normally ever feel like. I've seen other people do that before and just be like, oh, that, you know, sort of sigh of relief. And I think I was just so withdrawn at that time. I'd gone 3 days without any citalopram, and for me, that was just massive. So let me tell you a bit about the side effects I was getting from the withdrawal. Um, the first day, it wasn't really that noticeable, I have to say. I was all right. I have missed the odd tablet here and there before, and so I know that that's okay. It's kind of manageable. But the second day, I definitely started to feel it. Um, I was starting to get fatigued. I didn't have energy as much, and I was finding that my stamina was going. So I'd be happy to just sit and not move for like hours on end. which is not normally me. As you can see, I'm out walking now, and I'm an active person generally. I enjoy exercise, I enjoy moving around, getting outdoors. So it's very unusual for me to want to just sit around and not be active and feel very comfortable during the day to be very dormant. That's not me, so my energy levels were really low like that. I found it quite hard to sleep as well, both getting to sleep because my thoughts are racing, and then I was waking up through the night quite a bit as well. Just struggling to get into that sort of deep REM cycle of sleep. And then I was getting up early as well, so I was probably having like 3-4 hours sleep in a night. So you're drained as well then during the day because you've not been sleeping so much. But also I was having quite vivid dreams, and I'm not someone who usually dreams a lot, so I'm normally I like to think I have quite a restful sleep. Um, but I was having really vivid dreams about people that I know, about different experiences and places, and I was finding that my dreams were kind of so real that they felt more like memories than dreams. And that was really odd for me. And I was definitely starting to have a bit of recall happening during the day as well, where I was thinking back to actually what was a dream. And I was thinking that it was a real situation where somebody had said something or something had happened. And I kind of had to like catch myself a bit. Like there was just enough difference and just enough distinction to know that that was a dream, but it was so real and so grounded in my day-to-day life that it felt like it could just as well have been an experience. So that was very strange for me, and it made me feel like my night times were like a daytime in terms of just things going on, things happening. So yeah, brain very tired. I was also finding that my ears were throbbing quite a lot as well during the day, and not really in a kind of tinnitus kind of way or in a shooting pain. But I think the only way I can really describe it is if you're out on a sort of winter's day and the air's cold and your ears feel cold, and that feeling that you're feeling tender, in your eardrum. It's that kind of feeling, really. So it's not really earache, and it's not a ringing noise, but it's kind of almost like there's a pressure there in your ears, and so that was very odd for me, and it was almost a little bit like a headache, but not. And so having that going on was weird, and I don't know. It almost felt like as if my brain was dehydrated or something strange like that. That's kind of, I guess, a feeling of what it was like. So those kind of experiences, kind of combined, um, were quite rough to deal with when I'm busy at home with the kids. I'm traveling into work and I'm going about my days, and a lot of different activities happening around in my life at the time as well. So that was really, really odd. I found I was getting quite irritable as well with people and not wanting to interact as much, not wanting to be around people as much and have to deal with so much of what's going on in life. I was finding that I was struggling to multitask as well. Like I was having to try to just do one thing at a time and deal with one thing at a time. And that's all I was good for. So for me, there was that real decline in the physical experience and the mental experience as well. It really hit both ends. And that was very, very challenging. So by the time I got to that day 3 at the pharmacy, it was like, please give me some tablets. I was really, really in that kind of place of desperation. And I've never felt that before with anything I've had in the past. So there's definitely some lessons learned for me. So this experience has really reminded me just how fragile your mind and body can be, and actually how much antidepressants are doing for you. I've been on them for over a year now, and it is very easy to feel like they're not doing as much, or that sometimes how you were feeling before you were on medication is similar to how you are now, and not much is happening. But experiencing these withdrawal symptoms has been a really big wake-up call for me of just how much that medication is keeping me level on my day-to-day life. So it's been a valuable kind of wake-up call for me. There's a few things that I've learned from this experience as well that I want to share with you now. So I need to get better at being more organized with my tablets. So I'm currently ordering a better quality pill box so that it's more clearly labeled. I've just had a phone call with the GP as well, and I've now increased my quantity of medication, so I get a 2-month supply in one hit, which is a lot better. That's going to make a huge difference to me in not needing to get repeat requests in so frequently as well, and just that fine line between ordering one batch and then needing to get the request in for the next one. So that's going to really help. I've also increased my medication recently as well, going from 20 up to 30 milligrams a day. So hopefully that will help in terms of taking some more of that edge off, particularly when life's busier and more stressful. So I just need to prioritize taking this medication more as well. So I'm starting to set an alarm on my phone every day so I can make sure that if I've not taken my medication, let's say by midday, then I'll take that medication, because that alarm's going to go off as that reminder. So if I get swept up in the day with things that are going on, at least that way I've got that reminder that just shouts me out, make sure you take your medication. So, and I'll always have them on me if I'm out and about or if I'm at work, wherever I am. So it's not like I leave them at home or I forget them. I'm hoping some of these changes will make a big difference to me going forward, and I'm not going to experience this kind of withdrawal again. If this is a taste of what it's like, I hear horror stories of people going cold turkey because they feel like they can deal with it, and it just throws them off completely. And you're not managing the side effects, you're not managing anything, because you're having to deal with the barrage of effects that happen to your mind and your body, and you're doing it cold turkey. It's not helpful. So I hope you've learned a thing or two from my experience, and if you can relate to it at all, please put a comment below the video, because I'd love to hear about your own experiences and how you've got through that withdrawal or dealt with your medication issues. And if you have any tips on getting better at taking your medication as well, please do share them. So thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.